Blog Talk Radio.
In the morning, when I rise, when I rise, when I rise, wanna rise holy, when I rise, in the morning, when I rise, in the
All right.
It is another glorious day, my tea sippers, honey. You know what time it is. And I hope you have all of your crumpets together, darlings, because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meech. Hey, babies, how are you today? Yes, it is absolutely one of those days, my darlings. Honey, y'all know I love to let you in on a little bit of what's going on in the world of Big Meech. And with today's show, honey, I think this is so appropriate, so appropriate, because it just ties into everything. Y'all know that I really and truly believe in the power of the higher power and how spirit likes to work and interconnects with everything and keeps us all together. And as we get into the show, you'll understand why when I tell you what the title is. However, let me just personally say thank you to a couple of my sponsors, honey, and they are, I have to say thank you to Double Exposure. I have to say thank you to Caribbean American Boys and Girls Entertainment and Bahamas Invasion. I have to say thank you to AtlantaLGBT.com. And, the reason why is because, I'm working on a project right now that has me running. Okay, for those of you who do not know, I told y'all, honey, the donut factory, well, honey, they decided that they no longer enjoyed my recipe, honey, for donuts. So it's cute, okay, and that's fine. Because it was bound to happen. Y'all know I've been dealing with my health and things, and I've had surgeries, and y'all know all of that madness and that drama. And because my family medical leave had ran out before I was able to go back to work, I wasn't scheduled to go back until June 4th. It ran out, and so they decided that they could not hold my position any longer. So they decided to let me go in good standings. Mm-hmm. Which means that once I'm released and I'm able to come on back and this, that, and the other, then they would gladly rehire me. But, of course, I lose my 6-year seniority and carrying on, and I had to start all over. Yeah, that's not necessarily gelling with me. But what it did do was open up everything for me to go into avenues that I've been wanting to walk down and trottle along and all this, that, and the other. So, the Omniverse has opened up and is positioning me to do what it is I need to do. And so you're going to hear some bigger and better things coming from Dishing Tea with Big Meech, both here on Blog Talk Radio Network and also with AtlantaLGBT.com. Y'all know we've partnered, and there's going to be some new things that we're going to be doing. So some interviews that I do that were my pre-records or whatever will be streamed off of AtlantaLGBT.com. So yeah, I'm finna go to work you, honey. So what you don't catch here on Blog Talk, you will catch over there at AtlantaLGBT.com/Big Meech. So you'll be able to pick me up over there as well, okay? So I'm very excited, and I'm very excited, and I'm excited one more time. I'm very excited. If you're listening by computer and wish to join in on the conversation or want to come in and say hello to my guest as we get into the show, the number to call is 347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183. If you're listening by computer and wish to go over into the tea room, it is open. I'm the only one in there thus far, and that's fine. Just go ahead on over and click on chat. And you can go ahead on and chat with us. Now, in order for you to interact with everyone, you have to create a profile page. Just like with all the other social medias, it's free to do. And once you do that, then you will be able to upload and comment and carry on the way that you normally would in any other social media interaction. So that there is for you. But just this is the disclaimer for the tea room, honey. If you're going to be over there, please be mindful that this is just the written word. A lot of times, we see this, and being in this technology era that we are, folks end up neck rolling and things, or you think they neck rolling because you've read something based on your perception of it and your experience that you may think they're trying to let you have it, they're trying to read you, you think they may have said it with an attitude, and that may not be the case. So while you're over there, honey, dish your tea responsibly for me, please. It's okay to disagree. Just don't be disagreeable. Okay? Because if I come over there and find that y'all are sitting up there cussing and fussing, really badly, and it's getting out of hand, honey, I will cut you to the white meat. And I mean that wholeheartedly. You understand? Understand. Capiche? Yes. So just dish your tea over there responsibly for me, please, and I would gladly appreciate you for that. Okay? If you have any questions, comments, concerns, show ideas, show topics, dear Big Meats letters or whatever, please be kind, and send them over to me directly, either at bigmeach@dishingtea.com. That's bigmeach, BIGMEACH, @dishingtea.com, or you can go over to the website at www.dishingtea.com. Or again, over at atlantalgbt.com/Big Meach, and you can reach me at all those places, and we'll be able to accommodate whatever it is within reason. Within reason, we'll be able to accommodate you there, whether you are trying to reach me, if you wish to become a sponsor or whatever the case may be, that information is made readily available to you, okay? So, and also you can link up to all of our social media pages, the Facebook. You can go and follow me on Twitter. I'm at Big Meach, the number 1 on Twitter. So you could do all those things, and all that is over there at the web page at www.dishingtea.com. Let me put my disclaimer here. Now I think I'm going to be a little okay today because my guest, from what I've ventured and from what I've gleaned doing my research, is more calm. So you won't necessarily have this problem from me today. However, I am going to state my disclaimer, and that is dishing tea with Big Meach is for mature audiences, and the language and or subject matters that come from this show, honey, are not appropriate for children or anyone who is not mature to handle the subject matter, so your listening discretion is advised. I'm going to repeat that. Dishing tea with Big Meach is for mature audiences, and the language and or subject matters are not appropriate or not intended for children or anyone who is not mature to handle the subject matter, so your listening discretion is advised. Now, for those of you who know me, y'all know I have a potty mouth. I make no excuses for it, honey. I'm 43 years old. I've earned the right to every 3, 4, 5-letter word to come out of my mouth, every 16-syllable word, or whatever the case may be. I've earned that right to have it come up out of me, honey. And with all that I've been through, trust truly, I've earned it. So at this particular point, if you cannot handle it, now is the time for you to gracefully bow out, okay? But like I said, with my guest, I think I'm going to be cool today because we're going to be light and airy and ethereal and all of those things, honey, esoteric, we'll be all of those. We'll be all of those things today, so I don't think you're going to have that particular problem with me today. However, you've been warned. I don't know what bag I'm coming out of. Just know I'm coming out of one, honey. So, okay? And today I think it's going to be the church bag, honey, the church bag. Yeah. So there is that. Let's see. I think that those are all of my particular announcements. Oh, no. Let me go here and say this, because this weekend, if you are in the D.C. area or traveling to D.C., I'm going to send you with travel grace and mercies as Washington, D.C. is preparing for Black Gay Pride this Memorial Weekend there in Washington, D.C. I've never been there. I don't know. I've never been, so I can't tell you anything about it. And this, that, and the other. So for all of my babies that's traveling out there, honey, y'all have a good time. Have a good time for me. Be safe. Be careful. Be responsible. Okay? Be responsible. You understand me? Be responsible. Okay, now I ain't gonna preach to you or mama you down, honey, but I just want you to be responsible, okay? Because only you are responsible for your own happiness and carrying on, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. So I want you guys to have a good time. For those of you who are not going to be in D.C. or those of you who don't care about Black Gay Pride and just want to understand what's going on with Memorial Day and carrying on, y'all know this is the day and the time that we honor all of those who have passed that have served our country, all of our servicemen and women, honey, who have given their lives ultimately as they have fought for the freedoms that we have. Everything that I just said about me earning the right to do this, that, and the other, well, all of us have those privileges and things because we have those servicemen and women who have done all that and who have fought, whether by force because they got drafted in or on their own recognizance because they wanted to serve their country. So this is the time where we reflect on those. It's not just for barbecuing and grilling and carrying on, children. This is what this particular weekend is all about. So you guys, as you're eating your ribs and your chicken and your burgers and burning the hot dogs and things, because you know a hot dog is good, little burn on it and carrying on off that grill. This is what we are celebrating. Okay, and to all of my African-American children out there, honey, make sure that you look into celebrating those Tuskegee Airmen and carrying on who have passed on, those soldiers, honey, who fought for the right to fight in the wars and carrying on and to serve our country. This is what that time is, okay? So just be mindful of that and be thankful. Because without them, honey, a lot of the freedoms that we take for granted that we're slowly losing, I'll get on that another time, would not be if it had not been for those who have fought and have given their lives for it, okay? So that there is what this holiday season is about this time. So having said all that, today's title of the show is called My Dreams May Have Been Delayed, but Not Denied. I will get into that a little bit more, honey, because when I tell you about my guest today, honey, this is a venture that speaks to me, and I'm sure it's going to speak to all of you who are listening, because how many of you have felt that, you know, I done got older now and this, that, and the other, and it may not happen, it ain't going to happen, it wasn't supposed to happen, and all of those particular things, when you look back and, you know, say to yourselves, wow, you know, maybe it did happen or whatever the case is, okay? And this thing has just been ringing and all of that, and it's on silent, and I didn't realize that. So let me take this break here right now, and when we come back from the break, I'm going to talk to you about my guest, okay? So I'll be back in just a couple of seconds, so let me take this commercial. And we'll be back in 2 and 2. You like that? Egypt, Vidal, Couture, Egypt, Vidal, Couture. Enjoy high fashion with luxurious twist. Step into the future with fresh, innovative couture. Designed by Miss Michi DeVale. Michi DeVale. For more information, contact Michi at 313-996-9807. 313-996-9807. Or go to Facebook and go to facebook.com/Michi DeVale. That's MICHIEEDEVALE. Michi DeVale, Eacham, Vidal, Couture. And we are back. Yes, my darlings. Yes, my darlings. Yes, my darlings. I'm sitting up here going through. I had to go take care of something, and I just overpushed myself trying to get back before this song got off. And this, that, and the other, but it's all gravy. It's all lovely. It's all wonderful. You are here on this glorious day, honey, and you are dishing tea with Big Meats, honey. That's who I am. And I thank you for your love. Thank you for your honor. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything, honey. Okay, let me catch my breath. Okay. I'm just a little disheveled, and it's hot down here, honey. It's 80 degrees down here in Atlanta. And, yeah, we're going on. But, all right. My dreams may have been delayed, but not denied. My tea sippers, I need you to get ready to be inspired to make your dreams a reality by understanding that it may not happen when you think it should, but it doesn't mean that it won't. Okay, the messenger of this incredible message is a young lady who has taken this message and made it her creed. Mrs. Tonya Lewis Taylor has been following her heart and allowed herself to be led by her higher power into greatness. Not only has she excelled academically, she has reached new heights and is on the path to take this message to every corner of the world with the release of her new CD project, Delayed But Not Denied. We are dishing tea with Mrs. Tonya Lewis Taylor on the ins and outs of the business, especially in the gospel arena, in addition to reviewing how she has made her transition from celebrity publicist to artist and mentor, as we find out more about her education for Artists for Education, it's Entertainers for Education Alliance Initiative. And we were going to just dish a real good tea, because this is going to be a real good hot pot. So without any further delays and without me sitting up here doing 5 things at the same time, honey, please welcome, this is Mrs. Tonya Lewis Taylor. You know, I've been practicing that and said I was going to call you Tonya because it's Tonya, and every time I read it, I want to say Tonya. Hey, girl.
Everybody do. How are you?
Girl, I'm sitting up here flustered.
Favored.
Okay, as you should be, honey. I am everything, and everything is me. Okay?
Awesome.
Like I said, I'm doing 15,000 things at the same time, and if I'm sounding a little flustered, honey, it's because I'm now calming down, because we only have so much time in between my little commercials or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I got to dash, and so, yeah. So now we are here, and I want all of my attention to be focused on you, my sister.
Thank you.
My
Thank you so
darling,
much.
let me take this time and say thank you for coming. And, again, another shout-out to Double Exposure and Angelo over there with the team, honey, for bringing you to my consciousness, because I'm like, okay, you know, number one, we share the same last name of Taylor. And I'm like, okay, now I'm wondering, because I don't know everybody in the family. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's a possibility, you know, somewhere.
Well, Taylor is my married name, so.
Yes, I know, because you are hyphenated and things. But that's fine. But still, honey, you know, family is family. And, you know, there may be a possibility. But, so, you know, let's get started with this. And I want you to, you know, we'll start with the basics, because I want folks to really get into the character of Tonya Lewis Taylor, and so that they understand exactly your beginnings and how all this came to be. You know, now you don't have to necessarily go back to the womb days, honey. You can remember, honey, when the you know, the fluid was around you, you were sitting up there waiting on mama to feed you. But you know, give us just a little bit of your background and your beginnings of how you became you.
Well, I am a church girl. First and foremost, my mama is a pastor. My daddy is the deacon of the church. So I grew up in a good background. My family is,
did we lose the connection? It
Hello?
sounds as if we did. Okay, let me press pause on that.
Hello?
And we're going to continue on, child. It's going to be one of them days. Okay.
Hello?
And we're not going to have it. Now, what I am going to do, let me go here, and I would play this. I was going to play this at the next commercial break. However, let me go here, and then we will see what was wrong with the connection. We'll be right back in a minute, honey. Give us a second.
Somebody told me when you get in trouble. Somebody told me when you get in trouble, you bring you out.
Well, I will be. Okay, I got to go to the next song then because that should have played, and I'm gagging. Because I know I uploaded that right. See, you know what? You have to love live radio and when things go and do their thing, okay? Yeah. So let me go to I'm going to go here then. I guess I have to go here. Let me go here.
The Caribbean American Boys Entertainment. We specialize in jerk and conch food catering, party promotions and emceeing, entertainment with the Caribbean swagger, island fever on the mainland, bam bam. We also provide customized tour guides through gay-friendly Bahamas to all the hot spots of dining and club life events. Mr. Silvano T. DeMarco is the founder and CEO of the CABC. For more information, please contact him at CaribbeanBoysATL@yahoo.com. That's Caribbean Boys with a Z, ATL, @yahoo.com, or on Facebook at Facebook.com/Silvano T. DeMarco. That's Facebook.com/Silvano T. DMARCO. Caribbean American Boys Entertainment. Island Fever on the mainland. Bam bam.
Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, everybody. I want to give God thanks tonight by just saying, I will sing your praise, for you've done such a marvelous thing. For someone so wretched, yet my soul you have redeemed. No one else could do it. No one could care half as much. Yet you thought my soul was worth it. So you gave your only son. You gave that I might live. You gave that I might be set free and shine your light on mine. What a marvelous thing you've done. So folks see my faults. Lord, you see my accomplishments. Even the good work you have begun in me. You also see my finish. No, not half done. You delivered me. Marvelous. It was marvelous. So marvelous. And then you changed me, Lord. It's marvelous. You rearranged me. Marvelous. You set me free. Marvelous. Free from sin, Lord. It's so marvelous. I want to thank you. Yeah. For what you've done for me. It's marvelous. I want to thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for setting me free. It's marvelous. You even broke the chain that had me bound. It's marvelous. And then you played my feet on solid ground. Yeah. It's marvelous. It's marvelous. Oh, so marvelous. So marvelous. Yeah. It's so marvelous. Yes, Lord. Oh, it's marvelous. So marvelous. What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful thing. Oh, a glorious thing. So marvelous. What a marvelous thing. Oh, you've
All right, and we are back. If you're just joining us, honey, you are here dishing tea with Big Meat. We had a little technical difficulty going on, child. This has been the story of my life today with technology today, but it's all good and it's okay because we still are here. And today's show is called My Dreams May Have Been Delayed, But Not Denied. You're here with me, and we are still speaking with Mrs. Tonya Lewis Taylor. And right as we were getting into this, honey, we had a little fapoo, a little snag, but we're right back here. So, Miss Tonya, darling.
Hello.
Tonya?
Hello.
There we go.
Hi.
There we go. I got you, baby.
There we go. How are you? I've been
Honey,
waiting to speak to you for a long time.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, now that we are here, my darling, honey, I am. I am, and you fill in the blank, honey, because anything positive goes in that particular spot. Okay, just fill it in,
Wow.
honey. That's okay. So yes,
Wow.
that there is what it is, and I'm very grateful. I'm very humbled. Yes, my brother's spirit is on me today. Okay, my brother is here. I just recently lost my brother in February, so I just feel him today. So I'm. Oh no. You know, it may be sad to hear, but at this particular point, honey, I've gotten comfortable with him going on because now he's no longer here in the physical. But I truly believe that when God calls the children home, honey, they become our guardian angels. And so he's just there watching over me, like I used to do him because he was my younger brother. And so now it's his turn to just watch over me and to make sure things are okay. So that's how I'm looking at it, and it's all good. It's all good. So
wow, awesome,
yes,
awesome.
Well, okay. So we just want to get into the world of Mrs. Tonya Lewis Taylor, honey. I'm living for this.
All right.
So, I am. I want to get into understanding what created you outside of, the omniversal force that we call God and your parents, of course. So what gets into the world of Tonya? Who has made Tonya? What has made Tonya the woman she is today? Let's start at the beginning.
Well, I am a product of my parents, first and foremost, and my family come from a Christian background. My mom is a pastor. My dad is a deacon of the church. I grew up singing, and my mother and my grandmother and my aunts, a group called the St. Peter's Gospel Singer. And so I believe that that's where my love for music was formed, because we did traditional gospel music, quartet-style gospel music, and they always had me come in and do the soprano harmony. And as a young girl, I as a preacher's daughter, I had to do it all. I had to direct the choir, I had to sing, I had to cook the chicken, whatever needs to be done in the church, you have to do it. And so I gained a lot of skills from the church, because when you're in church, you have to be able to multitask. You got to be able to deal with all kinds of folk. You got to be able to do whatever is needed to be done. And so I believe that is what has framed me and made me the person I am today, and has allowed me to be able to accomplish the things I've been able to accomplish.
Okay. So now with this. Now, was your background one that was very strict and rigid in the church? Because there's a lot of people who, that come from a Christian home, but they were, staunch, full gospel, ain't nothing going on but the church. The world don't exist. It's all about the church. Was that your experience, or were you more well-rounded to where you were able to form that happy medium between, the human experience and the spiritual revelations that come with church?
No, not at all. My life, as far as being in the church, my mom is, a cool pastor. She definitely stands for righteousness, but she wasn't one of those people that you had to wear your skirt down to your ankle. She just wanted you to be a good person and to love God. That was her whole premise on everything. Love God. When you love Him, you will do what's right. And so that was what she instilled in us. She didn't tell us we were going to hell if we made mistakes. She didn't do none of that stuff. And so, I've always been very fortunate to be around that type of atmosphere. Judgmental church folk, that's not the way to go, because the Bible tells us that we all have sinned and fallen short. So we can't judge each other. We have to just do the best that we can and live the best life that God has given us, allowed us to have.
Okay. I like that. I like that premise. Okay. Now let's move a little forward, and now we've gotten into where you were able to step out and become the artist. You found your love for music and your passion to know that music was your thing. So now you're listening to music and you're getting it into other experiences. Who were some of your influences that made you say, "Oh, this is what I want to do. I want to be just like her," or just like who were those people for you?
Well, I love choir music, and so when I tell you this list of artists, you're going to see that it's very male-dominated, but I love Hezekiah Walker is one of my favorite artists. I love Hezekiah Walker. I love John P. Key, Pastor John P. Key, number one.
Oh, you better, okay.
Donald Lawrence, awesome. Ricky Dillard, that type of music is what I grew up listening to, wanting to emulate. And then when you go on the other side, the legendary Clark sisters. I mean, you can't get no better than Twinkie, Karen, Dorinda, Jackie. You can't get no better than that.
Okay.
So, those are my influences, and of course, all gospel music. I love all artists, but I'm particularly inspired by those particular people because I followed their ministries for so long and used to go to their conferences and their concerts. And as a young teenager, I followed John P. Key when he used to have the Victory and Praise Conference, and I used to go every year.
Yes.
Yeah, so, that has always been, those are some of the artists that have inspired me.
Okay. Okay. Well, wonderful, wonderful, honey. Okay, you have an impressive list, honey. Oh, John P. Key ain't no joke, honey. That he ain't no
Yes,
joke.
well,
Okay.
he's the consummate performer. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Now let's go on to where now you wanted to emulate these particular artists and or at least pull from their artistry and their ministry and adopt some of their style and some of their into yours. Now, how was it that you made your transition from coming out of the church into going into the recording industry? Because I understand that you did a lot of background vocals for some secular artists and this, that, and the other. What was that transition for you, and how was it a difficult transition?
No, not at all. I mean, since I was younger, I always wanted to sing and minister to people. And right out of high school, I began to pursue a music career. And the music industry can be very harsh because many times they tell you, you're not the right look, you don't have the right size, your voice is not light enough, your voice is not heavy enough. Everybody has their opinions about who you should be. And so because I got discouraged, I wound up getting opportunities to do a lot of background vocals, and I sang background for people like Mariah Carey and Mary J. Blige, and I was able to tour 25, 30 countries. I did off-Broadway plays like Mama, I Want to Sing, and have been very fortunate. And so I've had a great opportunity to do things that I wanted to do, but I was never satisfied, and I always wanted to present my music to the world, and that's the reason why I wrote this album. It's called Delayed But Not Denied, and it is 10 songs of my personal testimony, my message, my music, songs that I've all written. I co-produced the whole album, and when I tell you, it is just a testimony how God can just allow you to live your dreams, even though you have been delayed. Yes, it's been 15 years since I've been in the studio and did this. God said that this was the right time. He gave me all this fresh music, and he told me that I wasn't denied, and so I'm so excited about that.
Okay. Now let's go here. Because, as you said, this industry can be very harsh, and that's putting it very mild and delicately and very diplomatically. Okay. What do you think is your greatest lesson that you learned while dealing with the business side of all these things?
Well, the lesson that I learned, after I left Rockefeller Records, I was doing the background thing and kind of got burnt out from that for a couple of years. And I started working as an executive in the music industry, and I found myself over at Rockefeller Records doing publicity for Jay-Z and Kanye West. And one of the things that I've learned from working with people who are successful is that most of them have a very clear understanding of who they are, and they don't care what you think about them. They don't care what your thoughts are, if you like the music, if you don't like the music. They're very clear about who they are. And so the lesson that I learned is that through all of the discouragement that I've had to go through is that be who you are. Be exactly who God has made you to be, and don't allow people to sway you from your dreams and your goals, because people will give you their opinions, and their opinions don't mean anything. It's just their opinion. But sometimes we take those opinions and we feel that we're not good enough, we feel that we're not smart enough, and we internalize those opinions, and then we don't move forward in the dreams and the gifts and the things that we want to do for our lives. And so that is the lesson. Be who you are. I can't be Mary J. Blige because I'm not her. I can't be Mariah Carey. I can't be Tonya Lewis Taylor. And so your gift will make room for you, and who you are will always open doors for you. It don't matter what the industry says. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Your gifts will open doors for you, and people will love you just for you being you. And that's the biggest lesson that I've learned.
Wow. I love that. Okay, see, that was part of my creed this morning. What God has for me is for me. And I wrote that on someone's Facebook wall today because we were talking. His quote today was, man cannot open any door that God has closed, and he put on something else behind that, and then I went on and said that what I said was, what God has for me is for me. And here you are echoing that same message right there. As long as you are who you are, it doesn't matter. You stay true to yourself, and what's for you is going to be yours. You can't sway,
absolutely,
or move somebody, that don't want to be moved, honey. And if they don't move, that's because that's not where you're supposed to be. It's what
absolutely.
is yours. You know what I'm saying? I love that. Now, as a Christian woman and as an artist, out, doing backgrounds and touring and everything, how were you able to maintain your integrity, dealing with the business? Because, see, you're dealing with all of the fast life of what this business is. And how was it that you were able to stay grounded and not get caught up in a lot of the sex, drugs, rock and roll of what everybody wants to believe this industry is about?
Well, it is my foundation, of the church foundation, the fact that my mother and my father instilled in me from a young age a love for God. And when you have a love for God, you want to do the things that please Him. If your love is only for the church, then you're not going to be able to keep yourself because you're loving something that can't love you back. But when you love God, somebody who who has died for you, somebody who sacrificed for you, that opens doors for you, that forgives you, even when you mess up, even when you're acting crazy, you're thinking crazy, He's still there. And when you know that somebody loves you like that, you want to please them. People that you love, you don't want to hurt them. You don't want to do anything to make them grieve. And so what kept me was my relationship with God, and that was the biggest thing that my parents instilled in me, is to have a relationship with God, not with the church, not with religion, not with what people think you should be, but your relationship with God is the most important thing. And when you enter into that personal relationship with Him, there are things that you just don't want to do anymore because it grieves Him.
Exactly.
So that's how I've been able to be kept. And to be honest with you, I remember the days working at Rockefeller Records when I would come in the office, people wouldn't curse.
Right.
Tonya's here. And I'd be like, oh, goodness, I'm just so regular like everybody else. But they understood, they had a healthy respect for who I was and the God that I served, that they wouldn't even curse around me. Sometimes they would slip, but they were like, oh, I'm so sorry. But they'd be cursing amongst me. As soon as I walk in, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to curse in front of you. And that just shows me how great our God is. And so that's, to answer your question, that's how I was able to stay away from all of the negativities, is basically my love for God and me wanting to please Him and not do anything to hurt Him.
Now, what was it that you gleaned from those other artists, outside of them staying true to themselves and their craftsmanship? As you were developing you, and as you were back, pushing them to be their best, what was it that you were able to learn from them that inspired you to be your best while you were out on the road with them?
Well, basically, most of the people that I am inspired by, and, there's a whole list. The ones that I gave you are just some of my personal, right now favorites. But, I love every genre of music, from country to rock and roll. There's so many. But what inspires me is the artistry, the fact that they can take their vision and make that vision come to life on stage. And when they get up to sing before the people, that you feel them. You feel everything. And that's one of the biggest things that Mary J. Blige has, the times that I've worked with her, is that she has this uncanny ability to make you feel everything that she's saying, that it gives you chills. It doesn't matter if she doesn't sing all of the notes right, but it's just her uncanny ability to make you feel what she's saying. And that's what I've taken from people. And whenever I perform, I try to embody that, so that people can really be blessed by what it is that I have to say.
Okay. So now let's fast forward. No, let me go back just a little bit, because as a celebrity publicist, you know, that particular ball of wax and organizing and making sure that people are in their best light and making sure that this goes out and that goes out. What was that a difficult process for you, particularly with some of the clients and dealing with the hip hop world? You know, how difficult was that for you?
It wasn't, to be honest with you. Every stage of my life was right where I needed to be at that time. It was what I needed to learn, what I needed to grow from. Dealing with celebrities, I deal with them just like I deal with anyone. You're a regular person, just like me. I'm not impressed by your celebrityism. I'm just doing my job, and I do it with excellence. And that's basically it. Once you go in it I'm in it for the money. Okay,
I got to pay my bills like everybody else. Let me do my job now. Okay, let me do my job, girl.
For the right reason. You understand that it's not about anything else. It's just about, doing the best job. And like I said, again, the church prepared me for this, because the church makes you excellent, because you have to be good at so many different things. I was a minister of music, the choir director. Then I have to preach on Sundays. And you got to go in and help in the kitchen. If you have to fry chicken, you got to clean up in the back. You have to just be good at so many different things. And the church really helps you to be who you need to be. And so I say all of that to say that, that's how I was able to really build my career in publicity and be able to have this type of clients, because my work ethic, I just, whatever I do, I try to do it with a level of excellence. And then people notice that, and then they want to know who did such and such event, and then they call you, and next thing you know, you have, instead of 3 clients, you have 10, and then you have 15, and then the list goes on and on.
Exactly. Okay, exactly. Okay, now let's go here, because I want to introduce to the folks your single that is available now at iTunes, and it's on Amazon too, right?
It is.
We want to introduce folks to what I consider to be just this wonderful praise song, because I am a praise person, okay? I'm going to say a praise warrior, honey, because I think I'm a little bit more than just a warrior, because I don't have to fight for praise, honey. What it is, I'm going to push it through, because I told this to my mom, and I teach this to other people, because everybody said, I'm going to pray for you. I said, honey, we're going to consider this the prayer, because your heart is there. We're going to consider this to touch and agree, because it's when the praises go up that the blessings come down. So we're going to praise this thing through. Okay? Your prayer is cute, honey, but I've already prayed the prayer. Just praise this through with me, honey, because God done already answered. I just need you to rejoice with me. So with that,
Wow.
I consider, and see, this here, these 2 little words, honey, is a prayer and a praise at the same time. Okay.
I like that.
And if you don't know anything else, if you've never prayed or never understood the power of prayer, these 2 words right here is both your prayer and your praise at the same time. And you say it so eloquently when you just say thank you. So we
come on, if you know that God has been good to you, how many of you want to just say thank you for all that He's done for you? Come on, everybody. Come on, put your hands together like this. Come on. For your mercy. Thank you. For your grace, Lord. I just want to thank you. Come on, if you love it. Mercy. Thank you. Listen,
Yes, indeed, honey. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. See, that's a praise and a prayer at the same time. Just say thank you. Just say thank you. We here, Tonya? Okay. All right, it looks like we've lost her again. Let me put this on hold. And I'm going to encourage you, honey, to you could go download that tune, honey. It's over at iTunes.com. It's also on Amazon. You can go ahead on over there, honey. This is called Thank You by Tonya Lewis Taylor. And yes, indeed, honey. This song here just moves me. And it hits me right there, honey. I'm telling you, if you're into praise, honey, this is where you ought to be. Because here and here alone, honey, is like I said before, when the praises go up is when blessings are showered down. You can't sit up there and not be thankful for what you already have, honey, and expect to get more. And that's what this is all about. So if you start right there and say, thank you for your grace, thank you for your mercy. For those of you who don't know what grace is, honey, that there is the time that what we call, I like to call it the get out of jail free, okay? Because it's under grace, honey, that a lot of stuff, you know, God is not, or the universe, or however you're going to call your higher power, That is that space, honey, where God is not going to get upset or mad or want to just throw you under the bus because you've done something wrong. Traditional Christianity teaches that Jesus paid it all. So it's during those times, if it's already paid for, then that means that you going through, you won't have that rough time of paying for this particular wrongdoing or whatever, because it all becomes a teaching experience. So that's where grace is. Mercy is grace's twin. Okay? Now, mercy allows you to sit up there and to ask for God to lift the burden, so that it won't be so excruciating, so that it won't be, a death wish, so that it won't come down and actually be something that will kill you. It will be something that sits up there to strengthen you. That's where mercy comes in at. Mercy is where you sit up there and you can get help along the way. You can get the assistance along the way to pick you up, to build you, to strengthen you, to encourage you to keep moving on. Because as long as you got breath on this side of creation, your work is not done yet. So that's where grace and mercy comes in. And if you say thank you and just start there, like she does in the song, honey, you can take this thing on all the way there, honey. I'm telling you, that is prayer. That is everything, honey. That is what it is. And let me take a break here because I want to get Tonya to come back in so we can talk about her organization, Entertainers for Educational Alliance, out there in New York City. So let me find out what just happened with her phone, and we're going to bring her back in just a few minutes. So while we're waiting for that, let me, I'm going to go here so we can make this happen, okay?
Hi, I'm Angelo Ellerby. You may be questioning yourself, who the hell is Angelo Ellerby?
Angelo Ellerby.
Angelo Ellerby.
Angelo Ellerby.
Angelo Ellerby. Angelo Ellerby.
Angelo Ellerby.
I'm the CEO, the president of Double Exposure Communications. I'm known for having solutions to the problem, but I'm best known for it in the music and entertainment and film communities as creating stars like Mary J. Blige and Alicia Keys and DMX and Genuine, and the list is continuous. But the key thing in any starting point direction in your career, if that's what you select to do, is etiquette, proper manners, diction, speech. I went to Paris, France when I was 17 years old, and I worked as a model and a designer and assistant designer, and I didn't know the culture, and I didn't know the manner of how to just move forward. I didn't know anything, but all I wanted to do was be a part of the entertainment industry, and there was a lovely young lady that taught me diction and speech and mannerisms. Believe it or not, I know it's corny, I know it's just whack to really want to sit down and learn about manners. I even remember when I introduced it to the New York Times.
He's been called the Henry Higgins of the music world. He's the only man who would dare to run a charm school for rappers. We're talking with the one and only Angelo Ellerby.
And people were like, what? Yeah, it was just a way to get the attention of the masses to understand the importance of longevity and etiquette and manners and etiquette and manners. Because I think that we're judged on first impressions as opposed to a learning impression. The first time we meet, the first time we see is what we really mold in our minds as what that individual is all about. And so I really wanted to just break down the barriers and teach the importance of winning skills. I want you all to stay close to your TV. Stay real close to your TV. They're designed to show, for me, about manners, about etiquette. Wow, I'm going to move into your living room. I'm going to come to your living room and teach you star power, star quality, etiquette. I want you to understand how to win in the world, not just the music industry, how to get that job and keep it, how to move forward with confidence and excellence and with style. That's what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you the proper way to win. I'm going to be your guest in your house. That's welcome home, Mr. Ellerby, coming to you. He's ready.
Somebody told me when you get in trouble. Somebody told me when you get in trouble, you bring it on.
And all right, honey. Yes, indeed, honey. That's Miss Karen Clark Sheard, honey. He will bring you out. I love that. 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 Now, we are back. However, Mrs. Tonya Lewis Taylor, we're still having technical difficulties with her recording device and her phone and everything of coming in. So, and then on top of it, I'm trying to log into something that is not letting me pull up my my information that I had for you, because I want to make sure that you have her email address and also her website, which is Tonya Lewis Taylor, TonyLewistaylor.com. You can go there, and that way you have information on her new single, which is available on iTunes, called Thank You, and also information on where to find the CD, honey, delayed but not denied. Okay? Also, I wanted to make sure that we get into her organization, Entertainers for Education Alliance, and I wanted her to talk more about that. However, I'm still looking to get her on, to get her back so that we can go into this. But right now, for more information on it, it's www.e4ea.org. That's www.e4ea.org. And this organization here is a mentoring program, and where they're concentrating on making sure that they keep kids together for in school or everything, so that it's an initiative that's going to make sure that they graduate. You know, with the educational system being the way that it is, this here is something that will allow folks to it's galvanizing parents and students together and teachers so that we can all make sure that these kids graduate. She says here in a statement, she says, a few years ago, a friend asked me if I could bring one of my celebrity clients to his school to boost students' morale and encourage attendance. To my surprise, that school visit would change the trajectory of my life and push me back into my destiny. A report in the USA Today further revealed that approximately 7,000 students drop out of school each day nationwide. The article went on to state that the U.S. was facing an educational crisis. I was astounded. I can't believe that our children were just giving up their futures. So as a mom, youth leader, activist, and music industry executive, I knew that preaching to our children wasn't the solution. We needed to get influencers, people who they looked up to make staying in school relevant and cool. I, along with my partner J.P. Taylor, flipped open our databases, reaching out to our network summoning support, from our luminaries such as Russell Simmons, Alicia Keys, Kanye West, Bow Wow, New York Knicks legend John Starks, Joseph Reverend Ron Simmons, Londale McMillan, celebrity entertainment attorney, Tyrese Gibson, who's Tyrese, the actor, the singer, Susan Taylor of Essence Magazine, to form Entertainers for Education Alliance Incorporated. Since that time, we have done tremendous work, from awarding grants to public school students to pay for college, to founding after-school programs, to hosting empowerment seminars and developing public service announcements. Entertainers for Education Alliance has given so many students the motivation and support to excel in school and beyond. We started a grassroots movement to motivate New York public school students to develop into the I Will Graduate initiative. Recently, through the efforts of Entertainers for Education, I was named one of the New York City's great people by New York Daily News and honored by New York City's Mayor Michael R. Bloomberg and former New York State Governor David Patterson. Entertainers for Education Alliance's program for education reform has resulted in a proclamation declaring Iowa Graduate Day on October 26th for the city and the state of New York. So, yes, this initiative is very important for students, and it's a pilot program there in New York City, and with the hopes that they're able to duplicate that and take it into a national program, into a national project. That there seems to be like it's going to be one of the models that they use, and we want to encourage her to continue that. However, what we're going to have to do is bring her back and make sure that we talk about that particular part of her becoming Mrs. Tonya Lewis Taylor, okay? And with that, since we're having difficulties, I will now let you go on with the rest of your day, and we will come back to this and start this over again once we're able to clear up whatever this little glitch was. So for those of you who need more information again, you go to www.e4ea.org. That's E for the number 4, EA.org. Okay, and this is the I Will Graduate Initiative, sponsored and promoted, and is under the guise of Entertainers for Education Alliance. Okay, so with that, honey, finish up all of your crumpets, darling, because the tea has been dished. And you've been dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat, honey. If you love me, tell a friend. If you hated me, honey, tell an enemy. But do know this, one way, shape, style, form, or fashion, this thing here will move forward, honey. I will see you guys again next week at the same time, the same appropriation, and we will continue to move things forward. As a matter of fact, next week we will have a special edition show on Tuesday the 28th, and then our regular slot with Wednesday, Tuesday the 28th. If you guys are familiar with the Tyler Perry series, Meet the Browns, and also what's the other one with the Pains? The House of Pain, that's the one. The House of Pain. If you are familiar with Floyd the Barber, Mr. Paul Williams Jr., honey, will be our guest next Tuesday, as he will be introducing, on the Oprah Network, honey, Tyler got two new series coming on, The Have and Have Nots, and the other show. I'm not going to give you the name of it because that's the show that he's going to be here promoting, because Lloyd has a show on OWN Network. So he's going to be here talking about that, and then next week we will have well, I won't tell you that because I have them scheduled, but they haven't confirmed yet. So it may not be them. So I don't want to set you up for that. So yes, we will be back, and I will have Tonya Lewis Taylor's response coming back in so where we understand what's going on with education for Entertainers for Education Alliance. Okay. So having said all that, honey, I will talk with you guys again real soon. And thank you for your love, your time, and your support. Thanks. Ciao.